Tonight we're at Lang Park, Brisbane, for the first in the Interstate Series for 1980 between New South Wales and Queensland. Well, as you can see, the Queensland fans are not deterred by the possibility of a big score against their side. They've turned out in pretty useful numbers. The New South Wales selectors have come up with what is virtually an Australian Test team to combat the Maroons first up. With the omission of John Dorahy through injury, the selectors have reinstated Test centre Steve Rogers, who had to withdraw from the Sydney Seconds team last weekend, but did play for his club Cronulla on Sunday. Test wing three-quarter Chris Anderson wins back his place in top company at the expense of Neville Glover, and a lot of people are happy to see Anderson in the side. But Glover, many people feel, has been rather roughly treated. Pivot Alan Thompson had a timely return to form, putting on 2 top-class games over the weekend, one against Country and one for his club against Parramatta. These efforts have retained for him the coveted 5/8 spot. Vice-captain and bar injury, a certain New Zealand tourist, Tommy Raudonikis, just keeps rolling along, knocking over pretenders to his halfback crown. Now in the veteran class, what is his motivation? Is it money, winning, or just getting over the top of young fellas?
Well, you know, it's not money really what motivates me. It's just that I love the game of rugby league and I enjoy playing it. And the thing I dread most of all now is the day I've got to retire, which might only be in 3 years' time. But I love the game and I'm a competitor. And I know a lot of blokes are after my halfback spot, but I'd like to keep it.
Tommy, will there come a time when you'll announce your retirement from big-time football and be available only for club football?
Yeah, well, I've been thinking about it, but I've just got to wait and see how I feel after this year, and then I just got to just keep playing along. I'll just wait and see what happens. You
know, I had so many people get in touch with me this week when they knew we were doing this game and wanted me to ask you this question.
Yeah.
Who is the second best halfback in Australia?
Tom Raudonikis.
But you can't be the first best and the second best.
No.
Who's the pretender to your crown, do you think?
Oh, there's, Stevie Mortimer, Steve Morris, and also I like Hastings from Eastern Suburbs.
Yeah, you've given me 3. Tom,
okay,
can you get off the fence?
Yes, I can, mate. Well, I'll say Stevie Morris.
Stevie Morris.
Yeah. Happy?
Whatever you are happy?
I'm happy, mate.
Are New South Wales going to win tonight?
Yes, we're expecting a very hard game because they're always tough up here, Rex, as you know. They're always tough, and but we're hoping for a big victory, yes.
Good luck to you.
Okay.
Well, you've just seen and heard from one of Rugby League's team of very good footballers, but it must be classified as a side as inexperienced. Only 6 of the team have had representative experience at this interstate level. Captain of the side, Norm Carr, is a very busy mobile player with a very high work rate who would do well in any company. His coach, John McDonald, will no doubt be expecting Carr to ensure all his teammates keep the same high work rate in both attack and defence. But let's hear what John's ideas are about the game. Macca, do you think that the Queensland selectors have done the right thing by Queensland football with so many new faces in the one team?
Well, I can say this, Rex, that those who have been selected are performing very well in training, and we're going out there with an attitude it's a do-or-die effort for us, and we're out to impress the Australian selectors. So we'll be out there tonight proving that the New South Wales side are not as what they're all wrapped up to be, and we'll be putting their reputation on the line tonight with good, solid, hard defence.
No inferiority complex?
No, we can't afford to go out with that. We realise the obstacle we're up against. The New South Wales side is virtually a test combination which has been together for some time, and we'd be foolish to suggest that we would be good things to beat them. But I can assure you that we'll be out there doing our best and making it as difficult as we possibly can for the Blues.
Comparisons are odious, I know, John, but how do you rate this Queensland side to last year's Queensland team?
Well, it's a slightly different side this year, Rex, although we've only still got 6 with previous experience. I'd say this year's a little bit fitter than we were last year, and with the experience that they gained from last year, particularly in the back line, I think it'll stand them in good stead for tonight's encounter.
It's reported, and I don't believe everything like you that I read in the paper, but that you've got a plan to try to cut off the New South Wales side with Trevor Doonerman and Tommy Raudonikis round the base. Is that one of the ploys?
Well, we've got a few things up our sleeve. We're only hopeful that we can put them into operation and upset the normal free-running, flowing style of football that the New South Wales combination's well known for.
You were a pretty quick player yourself. Everybody knows of your international reputation as a centre. Has there been a great deal of emphasis on speed in your training?
Well, naturally enough, this game will be played at a faster rate than now what we're used to in Queensland, particularly some of the country fellows, and we have been working along those lines, and we're hopeful that tonight that they'll be fit enough and have trained in that vein so that they can put up with the pressure football that New South Wales is so well renowned for.
Thanks for the honest answers to some questions.
Thanks very much, Rick.
Heard from people in different areas, so let's have a look now as both sides take the field. New South Wales side on the field. This is it. Graham Eadie, Chris Anderson, Mick Cronin, Steve Rogers, Kerry Boosted, Alan Thompson, Tom Rodonicus, Vice-Captain, Ray Price, Rod Reddy, Graham Wynn, Craig Young, George Paponis, Rod Morris, the coach Ted Glossop. Graham Wynn, seen there in the foreground, is currently in mighty form. His pace for such a large fellow is surprising, but not surprising is the ease with which he can break the unenthusiastic tackle. A second rower of great potential who should certainly go on and wear the green and gold this year. And the Queensland side now on the field. Colin Scott, Brad Backer, Chris Close, Mal Meninga, Mick Neal, Peter McWhirter, Trevor Duneman, Norm Carr, captain number 8, Con Mananan, Greg Dowling, Jeff Naylor, Jay Hoffman and George Radek. And the coach, of course, is John Cracker McDonald. This fellow here, look for him. Chris Close is a hard-running, chunky type of player with plenty of pace. He's had experience against New South Wales last season and should be a better player for it. One to watch tonight, particularly effective when he comes on the burst. Number 3. The referee in today's fixture is Mr. Jack Danzy. From right to left in their blue uniform. Now let's have a look at this statistic on these two sides. Since they started in July the 11th, 1908, there have been 218 games played. New South Wales have won 155, Queensland won 55, and drawn have been 8. So the points for a massive tally of 5,060. That's an average of 23.2 per game for New South Wales, whereas Queensland have only scored 2,999, an average of 13.8. The first penalty of the match against the New South Wales forward Rod Morris there for failing to allow the Queenslander to play the ball. New South Wales have won the last 13 games straight. Last year the scores were 30-5, 31-7 and 35-20. The last time Queensland won was on May 21st, 1975 in Brisbane. The score then was 14-8. New South Wales won the first 20-man matches played, and Queensland didn't win their first game until 1922 in Sydney. New South Wales' biggest winning margin was a massive 69.5. 69-5 in 1957. And Queensland's biggest margin was 38-0, but that's going back to 1926. Another penalty going to the Queenslanders there. Jack Danzy caning New South Wales in the opening minute of play. Now let's see what we've got here with this Queensland side. George Radek, a big prop, tough, heavy man. On the burst comes Jeff Naylor, who'll be familiar to Sydney Rugby League viewers. He played with Balmain for 2 seasons. Jay Hoffman, out it goes along the line there. McWhirter got his pass away well, but the defence moving in very, very smartly, enveloped Close. On the burst comes Dowling. Only 10 metres out now from the New South Wales line. Hoffman forcing their way closer and closer. New South Wales will be looking to keep their line intact. Last tackle coming up. Hoffman got a pass away. It's on the ground and forward. But you'll never hear the crowd react other than adversely if some ruling goes against Queensland. I've seen some one-eyed groups in my time, but they're pretty good at Lang Park. That's gone right through and should be in again. The Paponis hooking for New South Wales, captain of course. There's a clean heel. Rodonicus has it. They have Rodonicus. The members of the New South Wales team asked me specifically before we went to air, when we were in the dressing rooms, that I would be sure and send a cheerio call to John Dorahy. I do that gladly and hope and sincerely trust that John Dorahy will be back with his footballing buddies in the not too far distant future. Presently we're just concerned about his well-being. New South Wales throwing the ball around like a hot potato at the moment. Ready, buried. Compliments of big Chris Close. Paponis. And a bit more sanity in the proceedings there with a kick to get the play away from the line. Colin Scott. Good strong run, he's right through. Magnificent run, got the pass away to Close. Close has left it behind, knock on. What a great run by Colin Scott, straight through. And this Queensland side obviously hyped up at the moment for a big effort in front of a good crowd here. Rodonigas to feed. Another New South Wales scrum win. Price standing out, has it? About 5 metres short of the quarter line. Wynn leaves it behind. Queensland come up with the ball. That was an atrocious bit of handling. He snatched at the ball. Jeff Naylor inside New South Wales quarter. Hoffman at dummy half, as he frequently is. Radek running hard and running straight into the defence. 10 metres out, no score. We've had 5 minutes. Out along the Queensland line, McWhirter, Peter, the 5'8". Little punch went in there from Ray Price. Referee failed to see it. A long floating pass out there to Mal Meninga. Good ball and all tackle. Moving the ball quite well. Con Marinan. Last tackle. Up goes the bomb. Boosted stands his ground. It's gone to Eadie. Eadie will get it back in the field of play if he's not over the sideline. He is now. And it's a penalty. And the 5'8" McWhirter being pointed to by Danzy there for pushing the tackle player over the line after the tackle had been effected. Barry Ross, a fairly stirring opening to the game.
Yes, well, as you said, Rex, they're certainly G'd up, and before their home crowd, it's a do-or-die effort. And they're playing some good football too.
Statistics at this point?
Penalties, Queensland 2-1, scrums, New South Wales 2-0.
New South Wales hemmed in their quarter for most of this opening 6 minutes. Up to the quarter now. Morris, Paponis, ready, Wynn. Price standing very wide as he did against Country, standing out among the centres. Posted at dummy half. Craig Young busts the first tackle. Steals about 8 metres. Paponis, Rodonigas. Long pass to Thompson. Been picked up. This will be a try if he's got the pace to go on with it. He has. It's a try to Meninga. Now Meninga in for the try after the New South Wales error. See it again. This is the way it happened. Thompson's pass to Rogers. He was tackled straight away. Meninga was the tackler, and Meninga was quick to get the loose ball. Now you'll notice that he threw the dummy there and pushed Chris Anderson away by so doing. See it again from head on. Well, we've lost a little bit of the start of that action, but Meninga did well. Anderson probably would have caught him had he not thrown the dummy. There's a fair bit of talk going on here at the moment in this New South Wales huddle. Paponis laying down the law. 3-0 Queensland, opening blood in the 7th minute of play. Neil taking a lot of time over this kick. He's the right wing 3/4. Just near the quarter line. And he's pushed it away ever so slightly. The score remains as it was. Queensland 3, New South Wales 0. Happy start to the game for Steve Rogers to lose the ball on the tackle as he did. He'll be keen to make up for that error. Just outside Queensland's quarter. Let's see what their tactics, whether they're going to play football in this area or get it the hell downfield. Jeff Naylor. Hoffman a dummy half. It's a penalty. Inside the 5, says Jack Danzy. New South Wales back. As the hero of the moment, Meninga, M-E-N-I-N-G-A. That's a pretty ordinary kick from Meninga, but made virtually no ground at all. Greg Dowling, 5 metres. Two managers of this Queensland side are two of the greatest forwards that Queensland have produced. Ryan Davies and Duncan Hall, famous prop forwards, Kangaroos and great Australian representatives. Queensland, McWhirter. Ready to tackle on the blind side. Jay Hoffman's lost it, and it's been a knock on. Had the ball scrubbed out of his hand in that tackle. Here, Rodonigus feed. Ten minutes of play. Queensland 3, New South Wales 0. Well, if you get it out of there. Again, says referee Dancy. Well, Trevor Journeyman, who has been playing lock forward this year, is all over Rodonigus like a rash tonight. One of the ploys was to be by the Queensland coach that Journeyman was to attempt to cut New South Wales off at the base of the scrum by getting around very quick on Rodonigus. Win. Paponis, a dummy half. Rodonigus, Craig Young, Reddy standing very wide, showing his strength. Greg Dowling unable to get into the ground properly and being told to get out of it. Well, referee Dancy quite right. He's got to stop both sides, underline both sides from this niggling in the tackle. Once the tackle's been effected, they must get off. Good attacking position for New South Wales, about 30 metres out. Bosted. Paponis, Craig Young. Well, he had the ball in the hands, as you could see, to offer, but couldn't quite get the pass away. Paponis, Rodonigus. Wynn standing deep and coming on the burst. Did well. 10 metres out. Rodonigus, Craig Young. Big New South Wales forwards trying to take charge up the centre of the field. Wynn. Nice pass to Reddy. He's lost the ball. Queensland have it through Scott. And they're off the hook. Trevor Journeyman showing a good step there to evade the first tackle of Rod Morris. Hoffman. Dowling. Going underneath a swinging arm tackle. Here's the kick from Meninga. It's a second bounce or a third bounce job to Eadie. Eadie's got Anderson with him. Gets around his man. And marvellously got the ball away there. That was clever football from Eadie. Mick Cronin. Effectively tackled. 3-0. Queensland lead. We've had 13 minutes of play. Rodonigus. Ready. Cops one beside the head. They wouldn't make him smile. The run-around move. Graham Wynn and Rodonigus looking for support on the inside. Strong as a wild bull. Paponis. Morris leaves it behind. Unless Queensland come up with it, it'll be a scrum. They've come up with it. The advantage is played. 6 to go, says referee Dancy. Dowling. Paponis the tackle. Journeyman. Unloaded well to Hoffman. On the blind side of the ruck, Naylor. Good crowd, very vocal crowd. Along the three-quarter line. Close. Ooh, had the ball almost free to Meninga. Peter McWhirter. Well tackled by just short of halfway. Meninga. Drove it deep. Eadie back near his goal line. He's got one man to beat. Carr. He does that. Unloads to Anderson. Anderson evades a couple. And good defence there by Brad Backer. Rudonicus. Ray Price on the blind side then. Rudonicus. Thompson. Rogers. Cronin into the gap. Surges away up towards halfway. Looks for Rogers on the inside. Gets the pass to him. Rogers beats one. Can't unload the ball. Has it knocked out of his hand. And again, New South Wales attacks coming to nothing with bad handling. Great break by Cronin. And the pass has gone astray. Queensland have lost it. New South Wales would win. Out to Anderson. Anderson up the outside. Back inside to Price. Price is in. It's a try. Great backing up. Quick response there by George Paponis. Very quick reflexes to swoop on that loose ball. See it again. Queensland in possession after the breakdown by Rogers. This occurred. The ball was squeezed out, but the quickness of the movement there out to win. And the good pass out to Anderson and well back inside to Price, who wrong-footed Colin Scott so easily from head on. Very well done. The long pass out to Anderson, whose pace got him round his man, and the perpetual motion machine, Ray Price, always on the spot to score a try like that. So the score. 3-3. Telecast brought to you by Westco Motors and your local friendly Mazda dealers. Cronin from the sideline and the quarter line. Put it into the air. It's successful. The score then, 5 points to 0. Barry, did you notice the reluctance one of those touch judges put his flag up there?
Yes, he certainly did. He wanted the goal to miss and keep the score at 3-3. Anything for Queensland.
There's the man, Cronin, a magnificent goal from the yard in from the sideline. Deep. Eadie. Anderson. Up over the quarter. Good run from Anderson. 17 minutes gone. Scoreline 5 New South Wales, 3 Queensland. Win. Thompson. Paponis. Rudonicus. Rogers. Eadie. Reddy. The pass to Anderson was a horror. And Reddy says so to Anderson. Sorry, mate. They're not as sharp as they were against Country. Another scrum win, and Barry Ross, that means
4 in a row, 4-0.
Meninga up very quickly on Rogers each time, and Rogers very well just to catch that ball. Price. 18 metres from halfway. Craig Young, beautiful pass to Reddy on the halfway line. Rudonicus, Thompson, Wynn, Rogers, beautiful pass out to Eadie. Eadie to Anderson, back inside to Rogers. Rogers comes inside his man, does it again, and he lost the ball, I think, in that tackle. I believe he has. No, the referee says not. I swear it left his body.
Yes, I agree with you. It definitely hit the ground.
Cronin's pass out to Reddy is a good one. Cut out a man. Reddy streaking away. Back inside to Bowstead. Bowstead, hammered. Around the head. It was McWhirter came over the top and gave him a nice old clout. That's a penalty. Has to be. Trevor Journeyman carrying on a little bit like something out of a cage. as the referee agrees. See it again, totally unnecessary. On with the Motley. Cronin to take the penalty. Metres in from the sideline is Cronin. He's on the quarter line, has a slight breeze assistance, and he's put that right over the black dot. Very slow and deliberate, and the score goes 2 points further away. New South Wales 5, 7, Queensland 3. 2 great goals to Mick Cronin.
Don't feel like fun.
Rex brings up Mick Cronin's 150th point for New South Wales.
Marvellous performer he's been.
And this is his 20th game for the state.
Morris. Donegas working the switch. Right through. Looking for support. He's got Wynn. Wynn will go. Oh, bless my soul, Wynn. He would have sprinted away, I feel, and perhaps scored a try there, but the pass came at him fractionally hard, but he made a hell of a mess of holding it.
Just he banged the ground in anguish as he got to his feet.
Great break by Tommy Rodonigas. All came to naught. And there's the first scrum win to Queensland.
Yes, comes 4-1.
And the crowd give them a loud roar. Werder getting pulled over there by Ray Price. Juniman. He ought to cover himself up, I think, if he goes anywhere near Kerry Boosted. Juniman. The penalty. Pushing of Trevor Juniman. I must say, I think he's there's a little bit of get square going on with him at the moment. After his little act with Boasted a minute ago. That's a bad kick, failing to find the line. Udi catches that. Evades one. No, he doesn't. To Morris. Wynn. Wynn. Trying to make amends for some bad handling. Got it away to Thompson. It's on the ground. Again, Wynn has overdone it. An impossible pass to come late from low down as it did to Thompson. 7-3 New South Wales lead. Naylor. He's lost the ball. It's fallen on by another Queenslander, and he says no knock on, does Mr. Dancy. Dowling. Hoffman. Good pass away by Con Marinan. McWhirter. Hoffman. Meninga. Only 2 metres out. Good bit of play by Queensland. Got New South Wales at 6s and 7s at the moment. Long pass out to Close. Close does his best to get round his man. He's going to score. The pass is knocked down. It's a New South Wales ball just in the field of play. That's as close as you'll go to scoring a try. Eadie literally through the ruck there. He's lost the ball. Queensland have it through Dowling. Well, there's so many errors being made with the handling. One starts to doubt whether the balls are slippery or something. Both sides equally at fault. Some of the New South Wales players frantically calling some of their teammates over to the open side. There's an overlap out here. They can get it away, but they can't. Colin Scott slammed to the ground. 11 metres out from New South Wales line. Hoffman on them to Radek. He's lost the ball. New South Wales have it. And we've had more errors in the last 2 minutes of play than you'd see in a premiership season. Ready. Craig Young had his legs popped right out from underneath him. Hoffman offside, obviously. He must know that. Fiddley will get New South Wales out of a bit of trouble over it. Handling has let them down very badly. (7-3). New South Wales with 15 minutes to go. We'll be giving an award to the player we judge to be the man of the match, $400. He'll appear on Sports World next week. In case he's a Queenslander, the money will be just set up to him. Obviously, he wouldn't be able to come down. Rodonigus. Rodonigus runs again from dummy half and gets up to the quarter line. Papanis. Rod Morris. Last tackle. Plenty of depth in the New South Wales attack. Let's see what the tactics are. Craig Young, ready. Nicely away to Cronin. Cronin beautifully there to Rodonigus, and that's a great try. That's a quality bit of football, and see it again and enjoy it. It was a set-piece move that they've laid on. Now watch it again. Craig Young straight and hard on the burst, stops and props, gives it to Reddy, who chimes and comes back inside. Cronin's there, and the reverse pass to a fast-following Rodonigus. From head on, it'll look pretty good too. See it again. Craig Young straight up the middle, pulls the defence to him. Now Reddy comes back in towards them. It's change of direction again, and yet another change of direction. 3 changes of direction in the move, and Tom didn't like scoring that a bit. And another goal to Cronin. That's 3 from... The score hastens on to 12 New South Wales, 3 Queensland. Eadie. Back to Anderson. Papanis a dummy half again. Now Craig Young slowly assuming control of the middle of the ruck. Ready, the switch of direction. Beautiful pass to Wynn through the hole. He's done his job to get to that point. He sometimes overdoes the silly passes. Rodonigus, Papanis, Rogers. Lovely pass out there to Eadie and to Anderson. That's a bit more precision in that. Prager, Rodonigus, Thompson, Cronin, running him around. Beautiful stuff. Price back inside, looks for support, can't find it. Thompson on the last tackle, ready up the middle of the ruck. Got it to Morris, well done, and it's been intercepted by Dowling. He's coming away with it, up over halfway. Out along the back line, Meninga. Meninga goes halfway around his man. It's gone out to Brad Backer. Backer comes back infield, but he's well handled there by Rogers. McWhirter. Naylor. Through the dummy, halfway through. Got to pass away nicely to Carr. Carr out there to Backer. Backer's got support on the inside, but Eadie's like a rock and knocks him to the ground. And over the sideline. Scrum into Queensland. McWhirter to Scott. Can't find the same hole that he did the first time, but he gets a good pass away. McWhirter. That'll be a knock on. Close was the man who offended. And another scrum. There's 3 in a row Queensland have won. Midfield on the quarter line. New South Wales a little bit slightly into position. Carr. Close. Hoffman dowling up the blind side. Crowd really setting up a roar now for them. Con Marinan. Radic. A little bit easy meat there to go straight and hard at that pack. Uniman, McWhirter, the kick over. It's a good kick. Close head loose and it'll be a try. No, yes, it's a try now, is it? Knocked forward. The referees ruled that the ball went off. See it again. Now here's the kick, well positioned by McWhirter. There is an element of doubt whether Meninga was onside. There was the ball, suggested that it was knocked, and the player coming back from the offside position then was the last man to fall on it. New South Wales restarted play back on the quarter. About 10 metres, 20 metres outside now, just coming up towards halfway. 9 minutes to go in this first half. Veronicus, Cronin, loses the ball, given out quickly to McNeil. Neil inside Boosted, but not inside Graham Eadie. Naylor. Price being called over to the blind side by Boasted. Dowling leaping into the defender there. New South Wales lead. Close loses it. It's picked up again by Queensland, and that's still their ball with no 6 to go. Carr up the blind side, well tackled by Rodonicus around the boots. Gets 2 kicks in the face. Got up and appealed to the touch judge then. Juneman with a high kick. It's a little bit too shallow. It's not gone far enough. Reddy picks it up. He's offside. The penalty must go. One of those situations when you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Conceded the penalty, possibly saved 3 points. Neil. Spoke to New South Wales coach Ted Glossop at lunch today and asked about whether Boyd and Brentnell would be given a run. A standard procedure that everyone in the squad of 15 will get a run. It depends. He's missed it. He won't get an easier one than that tonight. So the score remains as it was. New South Wales 12, Queensland 3.
I used to get cross about Paris.
Paris? I just can't stand men who gargle.
And what about women whistling for taxis?
Look, it's obvious it's over.
Well, I get the boat then.
Oh, to your boat.
We've gone about as far as we can go. But Cosmopolitan asks, can you tell when it's over? Reveals the easiest diet ever. And lingers with George Hamilton. Marriage, desire, survival. It's all in Cosmopolitan, magazine that goes all the way.
Hello there. Need a lift?
The scrums are 4-3 New South Wales way, penalties 5-4 Queensland's way.
What about the error situation?
New South Wales 11 and Queensland 5.
That's the number of times each side's conceded the ball back to the opposition. Now he dropped that. I thought referee Danzy hadn't seen it, but he had. That's a clean scrum win. Rodonigas dropped it behind him. Eadie well tackled. Stood up in the tackle, gave it to Rogers. Rogers beaten 1, 2. Gets to halfway. Craig Young. He's lost the ball. Dowling. He's had a pretty fair game tonight too. There's a replacement on number 17. It's Willie Tarry. Willie Tarry. How do you like that for a name? Number 17. Barry will check out to see who's off. There's Tarry now. T-A-R-R-Y. Out come the Queenslanders along the three-quarter line. Close, number 3. Big scrapping lad. He'll get up and play this forward. I'm sure he does. There was no marker. And steals another 15 metres. Uniman onto Dowling. Dowling has been Queensland's best forward in this first half. Uniman. And that's the 6th.
Maybe George Radek is the player that's left the field. And Tarry's gone into front row position in his place.
Well, another New South Wales scrum win. Price swung out of the tackle. Up to the quarter line. Reddy throws the dummy and makes some yardage there in the middle. Still not put down. Rodonigas. Win. Well, that's the thing to do with these big fellas. Put them down. Wynn appeared to be having a few words to say to one of his own teammates then. Did you notice that?
Yes. Maybe he was looking for someone to pass the ball to and they weren't there.
There looks like there's a little bit of disagreement going on there at the moment in that New South Wales team. A few harsh words are being spoken. Instead evades one tackle, not the second. Made no forward progress. Craig Young always makes forward progress. Look at him, right through the bust. Beautifully unloaded to his prop forward mate, Rod Morris, and they're deep into Queensland territory. Now the ball moved quickly along the three-quarter line. Thompson out to Eadie. Eadie to Rogers. Rogers calls him back inside, gives it to Price. Price evades 1, 2, 6 metres out. Bowstead. Reddy. Well, Reddy did well to hold that. I think he's... Well, he went perilously close to having it stolen from him. Rodonigas. There was a move on with George Paponis, but they couldn't work it. Wynn. Cronin. Round his man. Beautiful pass. No, it's gone just behind. Bit premature with a call there. I thought Anderson was going to pull that in and it would have been a sweet one to score in the corner. He'd suck the opposition to him at Cronin. About 2 minutes to half-time. 12-3 New South Wales lead. There's a scrum into Queensland. A try to Tom Rodonigas and a try to Ray Price. Penalty gone against Queensland for lashing out with the ball. Norm Carr fails to... give the ball to the New South Welshman Reddy, who wants it, and the kick at goal will be taken. A try to Rodonigas, a try to Price, and the chant going up from Queensland.
The national anthem.
No comment. Cronin has kicked 3 from 3. The try for Queensland was scored on the opening 7th minute when Mal Meninga tackled Rogers, knocked the ball from his hand, and then scooped on it and sprinted about 24 metres and scored. An acute angle again for Cronin, but all his kicks have been good ones. 4th attempt. Unsuccessful. Meninga. Round his man, up over the corner. Lobs a good pass back inside to McNeil. Passes a straight out. Rodonicus has it. Unloads quickly to Eadie. Eadie makes forward progress. Raponis. Rodonicus. There's the hooter. The half-time. At the half-time break, we've got a scoreline that reads New South Wales 12, Queensland 3. The
Scrums, New South Wales 6-4, penalties 6-all.
Back in a moment to have a little bit of a summation of the way the state of the game has gone. Barry Ross and I with a few little comments about different aspects of the game. Wales have looked less than a great side, less than an Australian team that many people claimed they were, and I was one among them. So we've really bitten off a little bit more than we chewed insofar as the way we thought this game would go. Barry, can you account for the number of drop passes? Would there be anything wrong with the balls? They look like a normal, they're not even brand new balls.
No, I don't think there's anything wrong with the ball. I think we've got to give a lot of credit to the Queensland defence, particularly out in the centres. Close and Meninga are getting up very quickly on Rogers and Cronin, and that's where a lot of the New South Wales attacks stem from.
But a lot of drop ball too from the Queensland side.
Yes, but the New South Wales area counts twice what the Queensland one is.
Yeah. I know that it came as a shock to New South Welshmen when in the 6th minute Meninga was up very, very quickly on Rogers, bowled him over, knocked the ball out of his hands and scooped on it and showed a lot of pace to score the try. I didn't think he was that quick.
No. Well, a bit of football brains too with that dummy up towards his winger back and then straight for the corner. It was a good try.
It was indeed. Then, of course, there was the 15th minute when Marinan dropped the ball and it was swooped upon by Paponis. Wynne, Anderson, then into the ever-ready Price's hands, who loves to score that sort of try, doesn't he?
Yes, he certainly does, and he's always on the spot to pick them up too.
Yes, it's just amazing the number of tries the man does score in exactly those follow-on situations. There was the goal in the 19th minute. The 25th minute was the beautiful Rodonicus try, and that to me looked like a set-piece move, something they've tried at training. There were 3 changes of direction in it.
Yes, and Mick Cronin again keeping up with the good form he's shown in the last 2 or 3 days. He put the final pass away inside to Rodonicus.
Yeah, well, there were a few people involved. Young, of course, has just taken complete command of the middle of the field as far as I'm concerned. He got it on to Reddy, who turned it back inside, then Cronin outside, then back inside to Rodonicus. 12-3 at that stage. There was a very close thing, and I'm not using a play on words, in the corner that we're looking at the moment, up near the scoreboard for those of you that may be familiar with Lang Park. Went terribly close. I know that sounds a bit of a play on words. I didn't mean it in the Shakespearean sense. How close was he?
Well, I think it was almost a try. Dangy was on the spot and he made the decision, and that's how it stands. But it was Dowling too went very close. I think Queensland have been unlucky on perhaps 2 occasions not to score tries.
So the score could have been closer or further advanced from both sides. Both sides have bombed a number of tries, in my view.
Yes, looking at the Queenslanders in the Australian side to be picked in 2 weeks, Rex, do you see any that could make the side?
Well, I'm very impressed with Dowling, their forward, but I wouldn't know how he'd get into the pack at the exclusion, shall we say, of Reddy or Wynne, because he's a second rower.
Well, maybe they take more than the test side, and this is where he could get the chance, and maybe Chris Close in the centres too.
Well, Close is certainly, a lot of clubs in Sydney were very interested in Close. He's a very chunky Alec Tennant type of build, for those that might remember Alec Tennant. Played with Manly Warringah back in the 60s.
In New South Wales on one occasion.
New South Wales, yeah. So there's been a lot of ifs and buts about this game. I know their coach, Ted Glossop, we both had lunch with him today, and he won't be happy with the way the side are going because he was so impressed with the way they went against Country. I think Barry's probably summed it up correctly by saying we've got to give a lot of credit to this Queensland side, who are showing a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of ability to keep after the ball, a lot of ability to knock people over when they try to stand up in tackles. There was one little incident that I picked up, and I'm sure you did too, down there when Graham Wynne was standing in a tackle on the halfway line, only about 60 yards from where we are, directly down. Seemed to call for somebody to come off him. Nobody came. He was then picked up and bundled back a yard, got up and started, I thought, arguing with some of his teammates.
Yes, I think you're right, Rex, and probably Graham Wynn is very, very tense because a good game.
Time which reads, and I'm looking directly at our scoreboard, 12-3. The New South Wales side have scored 2 tries, and Cronin's been responsible for 3 goals from 4 attempts. For the Queenslanders, Mal Meninga has scored their sole try. We're going to be back in just a moment with more of the action in the second half of Sevens Big League. We're just scanning. We haven't heard. We're just scanning the side with binoculars to check out whether there are any additional changes. We did have the one shortly before half-time when Radic, the Queensland prop forward, was removed from the field. I don't know whether it was an injury situation. I don't think it was, but he was replaced by, wait for this, Willie Tarry. W-I-L-L-I-E-T-A-R-R-Y. Willie Tarry's playing in number 17. Edie's in possession. Onto Bostad. He's lost the ball. And that's the start of exactly what I think they would have been talking about in that dressing room at half-time. I'm sure Glossop would have been talking about hanging onto the ball. There's Tarry trying to get a pass away. He can't do so. New South Wales have got it back. Rodonigus runs from dummy half just to settle play down momentarily. Any changes in the Queensland side, Barry?
No. Well, they're only allowed one more change, so obviously they're going to wait and see what happens before they make any further changes.
Rod Morris hit hard right round the boots by Hoffman. Paponis ready. Price tears his way up to the halfway line. Craig Young. Scrum going down just Queensland side of halfway. It was all Paponis in the opening 5 scrums. But Hoffman did well to win 3 on a row at the halfway mark. Edie. A 10-metre game. 12-3. New South Wales lead. Win. Norm Carr with a fairly high tackle there. Rodonigus, the run around. Craig Young, right up the middle of the ruck, looks inside, unloads beautifully to Morris. Morris goes hard and straight, but he's well picked off by the fullback, Scott. It was a fine tackle right round the boots. Now he's only 10 metres out, gets up and plays it quickly. Rodonigus, through the dummy. Out to Creighton, it's a piece of cake for Price. Beautiful pass from Creighton. That's what teamwork's about. Just sucked the defence to him, held the pass up fractionally, and over they went. Easy, see it again. Nice pass from all of them here, but the particular reference to the one from Cronin now, the way he swayed his body in and a quick little shuffle of the hands, there was no way the defence would get across to Ray Price. From head on, I think it'll be more graphically illustrated. Our cameras follow the action across, see Rodonigus stutter. Now watch Cronin's quick little action now. And that's 2 tries to Ray Price. And Cronin has given the pass to 2 of the tries. Cronin from a metre inside the 10-metre line and a metre inside the quarter. Struck that to the left. The crowd cheer, but the score goes on to New South Wales 15, Queensland 3. Meninga, the boot, Bostad.
Interesting statistic on Ray Price's try scoring. This is only his 4th game for New South Wales, and yet he's scored 6 tries now.
Paponis not running as much from dummy half as heretofore. Craig Young. Ready. Win on the burst and strong. Enormously valuable player for that sort of a bust. Ready. Rodonigas. Edie. Back to Rodonigas, who puts it down. And I think said a word to Edie. The scrum 5 metres into Queensland's half. Penalty, Queensland against New South Wales for collapsing the scrum. Appeared to be both front rows down on that occasion. Queensland. Oh, the ball's gone down again. Thompson scoops on it. Thompson's had an unobtrusive game tonight, not been seen all that much. Craig Young is down at the moment in back play, and the trainer is on. Alex Richards. Rodonigas finds a little gap. Norm Carr piggybacks him to the ground. Ready. A dummy. Beautiful pass back inside to Morris. Wins a dummy half now. Rodonigas. Craig Young. The pass has gone anywhere. Beautifully picked up on the half volley. As Thompson's taking a long while to get to his feet. Still being treated by Alf Richards. Paponis. Line very deeply. Rodonigas, Rogers, Cronin, the run around with Rogers. Just a little bit of variety, something a fraction different. Cronin. Rodonigas, Price. Heavily backslam. Jeff Naylor the man.
Jeff Naylor's got a cut mouth also, viewers might notice.
Another scrum win. Thompson, who's recovered. Back to Edie. Ready. Stood up in the tackle. Rodonigas finds a little gap. Legs working like pistons. Thompson. Cronin pulled that in nicely, one-handed. Looks inside, gets a pass away nicely. Ready has it now. Going around, gets it. Turned it back inside to Bostad, whose positional play at times this season has just left a little bit to be desired. Win. Price standing almost permanently on the backs. Win. Morris. A little dummy. Cronin nicely to Rogers. The pass has gone astray. Rogers lost the ball. He's not had a big game for Rogers. It's been a feeling his way game tonight. Getting enough ball to win 2 or 3 football games. The scrums at this stage.
10-4 New South Wales way, and Paponis has won all 4 this half.
Edie. Good defence there by Close, but the pass goes away to Anderson. Then out to Cronin. Cronin looks inside for Bostad. Bostad wrapped up again about 8 metres out from the Queensland line. Anderson. Nicely. Win will score, I think. Oh, he's almost over. Right on the line. Paponis played it forward. It's a try. The crowd don't like it. See it again. A don't think Jack Downsey should spend any time arguing with the players about it. From head on, this is the way it looked. Paponis seemed to put the ball down a bit to the side, Barry. Can we just see that one more time? Just have a look at that again. Now you'll notice that Paponis gets up and puts the ball down a little bit to the side. It must be set away from referee Downsey.
Yes, maybe Downsey only saw the fact that he definitely released it from his hands and did touch it with his feet.
He did everything right, except I believe he may have moved it a foot to the right. In which case, score one to George Paponis for a bit of gamesmanship. The kick from Cronin is successful. The score moves on 18-3. So I'm just concerned about this one. Now, Paponis gets up. In my view, he didn't get up and face where he had been. He moves slightly to the right. Anyway, it's on the board. 20-3. Win with those giant legs of his, which seem to take up 2/3 of his body. Paponis. Morris surging hard on the blind side. Haven't seen the blind side used a lot tonight. A little bit of kicking going on between the two 5/8s. Ready. Still got his pass away to Morris. Looks like Greg Brentnell, is it? Warming up out there?
Yes, that's Greg Brentnell, wearing number 14.
Price up to Ready, then on to Wynn. Wynn well tackled by Carr. That was a good, courageous tackle on the 6th. That might be Rogers. Brentnell standing there in number 4. They're looking to see who the replacement will be. Any youngsters watching at this hour will notice that Brentnell's doing a lot of warming up exercises there to stretch the hamstrings. And don't ever attempt to run if you're quick without doing those beforehand. Queensland win a scrum. McWhirter has the ball stolen from him. Queensland in possession on their own side of halfway. Naylor coming on the burst up the blind side. He does pretty well. Gets the penalty inside the 5. And Morris being spoken to by Jack Downsey as one of the culprits on that occasion. They won't kick for goal, I wouldn't think. They've got to get points on the board with 12 minutes of the second half gone, 20 points to 3 down. And one of their managers, a famous man, Duncan Hall, one of the great prop forwards produced by Australia. Do you see it as a lost cause, Duncan, or what's the story?
Well, at the moment it appears that way. Rex, our boys, through inexperience, I've noticed New South Wales just take 3 men out the game and score, just walk through for an easy try. And we've got to learn not to get ourselves in those positions where they can catch us, get men over so easily.
Duncan, was there any suggestion by your players at half-time that there was anything wrong with the footballs?
No, I never heard any. No mention of footballs in our dressing shed.
Well, it just seems to me I've not seen a good side like New South Wales and a side I haven't seen before, this Queensland side, drop the ball so much in ideal condition.
Well, now that you mention it, like some of our fellas have complained at training about the ball being, hard to handle, hard to kick on the ends. The goal kicker said they, didn't sort of suit them.
Yeah, right.
But they never complained at half-time about it tonight.
Now, who's been your best player up to now, would you say, Duncan?
Well, I've missed the last 10 minutes, but I'd say Chris Close has been trying very, very hard in the centre line, along with Meninga, but a few of our forwards just get lost in their positional play. They're not moving up in the line. And
yes, well, it's you can't put old heads on young shoulders, can you? Rogers with a quick pass out there to Cronin, who's got Close around him, and Close has been a pretty good defensive marksman today, been knocking over the New South Wales centres with great regularity.
Oh, he's a good, strong boy, very determined.
Miraculous bit of anticipation there from Close, able to intercept that pass and dive and catch it before it hit the ground. Duncan, I was impressed with your second rower Dowling in the first half. I thought he was a goer and took the ball strongly up to the opposition all the time.
Yes, but the other thing with that, Rex, there's no one getting up and support them. They're going one out.
Yeah.
And that's where our game's falling down there, where they're going again one out. See, Dowling took it up. Hoffman got behind him. He took it. And no support.
Was anything said at half-time that would alter the tactical way things are going?
Well, John McDonald gave them a good talking to. Just told them what they should be doing and that, and what he thought they were doing incorrect. But I see that they've got back again, you know.
Well, there's a try on here if they can get it. The ball was lying loose on the ground, but that's the sixth tackle. The crowd are giving Jack Dancy a bit of hurry up tonight.
Yes, they're not exactly his favourite boy, are they?
No, I think he might be very wise to make a quick getaway.
I see Hendricks coming on the field now to replace.
Oh, that's Ross Hendrick, yeah, Hendrick. And who'll he be replacing?
I'm just trying to pick up the player who's gone off. It could be Dowling, number 10, is it?
Dowling's off and Hendrick's on as Chris Anderson comes away with the ball. The score then 20 points to 3 in New South Wales' favour, and we've had just on 16 minutes of play in this second half. And thanks to Duncan Hall for coming around to talk to us, and I know all your friends in New South Wales will be delighted to see you as I tell them you're looking fit and well.
Good, thanks very much, Rex.
And congratulations to your son too for his very good, or both your sons now, in their rugby union careers.
Yes, the number 3 son's coming all right now, under 17.
That's very good. Good luck, Duncan.
Thank you, Rex.
Craig Young. Cronin trying to use his bulk there to batter the opposition out of the way, but he's slowly to his feet, took a bit of a toll. Rogers being penalised for being inside the 5, as I think was Reddy, and Cronin, who wasn't involved in any of the play but was just there. Now then, Queensland as close as they've been to the New South Wales line for quite a while. Terry, only 10 metres out now with Hoffman at dummy half. Henrik, McWhirter, Close, using him as a prime mover on the inside. Strong, hard player. The little halfback, Trevor Juneman. McWhirter. Some pretty solid defence going on out there with the New South Welshman upending the Queenslanders in tackles for this last few sequences. Naylor. Hoffman. Little kick, number 7 is offside if he does manage to get the ball. He doesn't. Bostad does, and he's taken it out about 8 metres. There's Wynn with a strong, bustling burst up to the quarter line. Reddy. Reddy showing his strength there. Can't put him down. He's still played it quickly. Run against Craig Young. Beautiful pass to Cronin, but down it's gone. Just a touch too hard. And Henry comes up with it. Naylor running into a hornet's nest. The crowd setting up a chant about New South Wales inside the 5. Terry. Hoffman, about 30 metres out, and there's no excuse for that, Henrik. He'd made up his mind what he was going to do with that before he caught it. Former halfback has gone in the second row, and Henrik has come on as a halfback replacement. McWhirter. the 5'8", who is pretty nimble-footed lad. He's got a good step and able to break or avoid the first tackle on some occasions. Close. Well marked. McWhirter slow to his feet now. The statistics, Barry?
Scrums New South Wales way 11-7. Penalties Queensland's way 9-6.
Penalty going against New South Wales for infringing the 5 metres in the ruck. And Danzy trots about 7 or 8 metres to the left and awards the penalty there. They won't kick for touch with 20 minutes gone. 20 points to 3 deficit. They're after 5-pointers. Still McWhirter slowly to his feet. Just take the tap. A bit nebulous, just the dummy half tapping it and running. Marinan. Henrik. Terrible pass. Much too hard on to Meninga. Just ricocheted right off his body. Edie. Paponis, Rodonicus, ready. Rodonicus. Good smothering type of tackle from Meninga. Wins put it down again. Kicks it. Goes to Queensland. They've got the ball through Naylor. And loads out to McWhirter. Wins had an unhappy night with his handling. Journeyman. Sidestepping from foot to foot but not going anywhere. Naylor switching the play across the ruck. Henrik, close. Bretnell effectively tackles it.
It's been a big week for Greg Bretnell. Here he is in the New South Wales side. This time last week he wasn't even in the City side, but Steve Rogers pulled out of the seconds, grabbed his chance. John Doré was hurt in the first, and now he's, as I said, in the New South Wales team.
Last tackle coming up for Queensland. The New South Wales defence up to now has just been a bit too good. Well, there's a couple of players in front of the kicker. Edie will get it out in the field of play. He does. Meninga with a good smothering tackle. Now Price. He's caught straight away, but manages to fight, as he always does, another couple of yards. Reddy took a heavy high tackle then. Craig Young. Morris, Rodonicus, who was knocked off his feet with support. 3 men outside him who were all unmarked. That's a penalty against Close for striking the ball out of the player's hands. That case, Tommy Rodonicus.
Big drop punt of Greg Bretnell. Now notice the Australian rules hold.
Well, from the middle of the field, that's not a bad kick. It's a net gain of about 18 metres, but he had to kick it about 45 metres to make the 18 metres. Anderson. Paponis. Morris has had a strong game. That's the sort of thing I'm talking about. Craig Young loses the ball. That error count will be interesting, Barry.
21-10, New South Wales in front.
Well, in front, but that's the debit side, isn't it? The number of times they've conceded the ball back to the opposition. 21 times.
An English scrum.
It's a clean scrum and it's a quick heel. Rogers. Bretnell is wrapped up by Close straight away. Edie. About 8 metres into Queensland's half. Bretnell. run-around move, but he was forced to run sideways and couldn't get a go on headway. Ready. Craig Young. Is it passed too hard, but Cronin finally gets it out there to Anderson. Paponis, there's an opening out wide if they can move it. Ready. Elects to go on his own. Takes the tackle on the 6th coming up. Rodonicus. Win. Nice pass out to Brentnall. He sights an opening. And gets to within about 10 metres of the line before he's tackled. On your screen now, the record of the Queensland hooker, Jay Hoffman.
Well, I just noticed Ted Glossop having a word with Ernie Hamilton, the chairman of the Australian selectors, and I think we may see Les Boyd on soon.
Rogers at 5'8", of course. Cronin, Brentnall in the centres. Scrum win to Queensland. They'll try to work it away from their quarter. It's been a methodical display by Queensland, but nothing of any great quality in attack. The first try was off a New South Wales error, their only try. Bowstead. Eadie. Brentnall. Oh, he had support there with Wynn coming on the burst on the outside. Rodonicus, Rogers. Got a pass to Reddy. Reddy lobs it over the top to Rodonicus. Then back to Wynn. Rodonicus goes to blind side. Reddy lobs a pass out to Bowstead. He's taken just before the corner. I think the referee's ruled a forward pass anyway. And brought the play back. $20 points to 3. 13 minutes remaining. Another scrum win to New South Wales. Rogers. Move on here. Eadie, and it's knocked down. Meninga has it, but it saved possibly a try. That move was worked by Sydney against Country on the weekend. Came off to perfection with Cronin giving the pass to Eadie. Different quality defence tonight. Record of George Paponis, the New South Wales skipper. Rodonicus. Price goes the blind side, out to Craig Young. Eadie, Anderson, back to Eadie, one-handed take nicely. Submerged under the defence, only about 10 metres away. Rodonicus. Long floating pass to Reddy. Reddy to Rogers. Rogers will go in under the post. Beautiful try. Lovely bit of understanding there between Reddy and Rogers. That was very, very good football. See it again. The way that Reddy put him into this gap. Actually sucked the defenders to him, and the footwork of Rogers was sufficient for him. Now see again the way Reddy curbs his body back towards the defender and pulls him right out of the way. It was a specially made little bit of football for a man of Rogers' capability. A good try. Under the post, that's the place to score them. And Mick Cronin will have another kick at goal. What's the number of kicks he's had, Barry?
This is his 7th, and he'll be kicked at 5 out of 7.
Not a bad week for him. He does kick it, no risk about that. And the score hastens on New South Wales 25, Queensland 3. Five tries and 5 goals. That came off the knees. Dosted. With 9 minutes or 9.5 minutes to go.
Les Boyd on the sideline now with the linesman.
Reddy's skedaddled off upfield, giving it to Rodonicus. There's the pass to Eadie. They won't catch him. He can put the glasses down. He'll run up the hill and out of the ground. There he goes. Graham Eadie. New South Wales coming home with a wet sail now. They've moved it up to 28 points to 3. See it again. Opponents, the switcher play to Rodonicus. The dummy inside to Price. Reddy being put through a gap that yawned in front of him straight away and very selectively gave the pass to Rodonicus, as did Rodonicus to Eadie. And that man can run. Meninga making a little bit of an impression, but never a likelihood of catching him. Now watch the way Reddy strides out. A yawning gap, about 10 metres wide. The defence coming across. The pass that cuts the defence. Another pass that cuts the defence. And Eadie, with a bit between his teeth, charges away. To their credit, there's still 3 of the Queenslanders chasing. The kick at goal is successful. And the score now starting to get from just an ordinary score to a pretty big score. 30 points to 3.
And Graham Wynn is the player that's left the field.
Well, not much time to show you where's. He does touch the ball first up.
Yes, that's Boyd in number 15.
Price breaks one tackle. Nearly runs over the top of Jack Dancy. Still going. Still going. Up to halfway. Incredible stamina this man's got. Rodonicus. Boyd. Oh, Macy's present fell straight away. Ready. Craig Young. Beautiful pass to Rogers. Rogers has sighted a gap. Looks for support. Got it to Morris. Lightning acceleration of Rogers there indicated he's over any muscle trouble.
Yes, well, he's had a lot of problems with that earlier in the season, but as you say, he played very well tonight in a couple of occasions with that acceleration.
There's a bit of a sprint going on now as Brad Backer picked up a loose ball. He's wrong-footed Eadie. No, Eadie's got him by one leg and Rodonicus has got him by the other. Chris Close. A strong performance tonight. McWhirter. With about 7.5 minutes to go. 30 points to 3. New South Wales. Dierneman. Meninga. And then Scott, who's not been able to emulate his deed of the first half when he took a ball in his own quarter and ran straight up to the other quarter through about 8 New South Wales defenders. A ricochet. Knock on. A little knock on from Naylor that referee Dancy saw. So both the reserves for New South Wales. Brentnell on for Thompson. Boyd on for Wynn. Rogers moving to 5'8", where he's played on numerous occasions in representative football. Rodonicus. Oh, and he's through. Got support. Ready. Go the big fella, and that's a try. Well, Tommy shuffled that. Very nearly dropped it. And I think that was one of the reasons he got through the gap, actually. They thought he was going to drop the ball. But anyway, see it again. Now watch Rodonicus stumble this ball. Very nearly dropped it. Timed his pass to perfection there. And ready for those long, long strides of his. Looking around. Easy. From head on, the passing, the timing, and the long, long sprint. Ready looking over the shoulder. $33 points to 3. The crowd are convinced that the game is over. Seven tries. Really pouring it on now as one senses that the goal is successful. one senses that the Queensland side are running out of steam as far as hard conditions concerned. Gamely fighting on, but they have slowed appreciably in the last 10 minutes. Indeed, the scoring sequence, Barry, have you got in this last couple of minutes?
Yes, well, New South Wales have gone from 20-3 to 35-3 in the space of 9 minutes.
Right. That's 15 points in 9 minutes. Rod Morris. Rodonicus. Ready. Boyd. A run-around move with Price losing the ball backwards. Rodonicus has it. Scurries away.
A strong game tonight, hasn't he, Tom Rodonicus?
Yes, he's been a strong performer, as is Rod Morris and
Craig Young.
Rod Reddy.
Tom's playing his 23rd game for New South Wales tonight.
Yes, it's a mighty record, no doubt about it. 4 minutes to go. 35-3, New South Wales. Scott underneath that, takes it well. Can't get round Bowstead. Player down in back play.
Ray Price was the player.
Well, New South Wales making Queensland's job of forward progress a very difficult one. Still tackling mighty hard and destructively. That could end up a magnificent kick. No, it doesn't. Just out of sheer perversity, the ball bounces the other way. It could have been anything. Bowstead. Not able to get himself into the clear at any stage.
That was a great tackle from Norm Carr. He's worked hard tonight from Queensland, the Queensland captain and lock.
Chris Anderson, midfield now. Like a good experienced winger coming in to take up some of the slack when some players are out of position. Ready. A dummy. Anderson finds himself in receipt of the ball again. Up to halfway. Morris. Boyd. An injured player down at the moment, I believe, is Willie Tarry.
All the way from Emerald in central Queensland, a mining region just west of Mackay.
I didn't think there was much west of Mackay.
Well, plenty of aluminium. Alfie Peterson is exporting a lot of it. Interesting to note up here, Rex, that the City Country game in Queensland, well, a lot closer than ours, 21-17, City won, and of course after that close effort, they got 6 players in the squad of 17 tonight, the Country boys, and Tarry is one of them.
Coming up to one of the last scrums of the match with a couple of minutes to go. They come up with the ball to Queensland, and the scrums at this point stand.
13-9 New South Wales way. The penalties 11-7 New South Wales way. And the errors 23-12. Also New South Wales way.
And another lost ball with Reddy getting it away there to Boyd. Boyd back inside. Beats 1, 2, 3. Still going. Stumbles. Still going. Fine run, showing a lot of strength and purpose. There's a shoe being torn off and thrown away. It's Les's left. Craig Young looking for it. They're trying to point out to him where it is. It's up near the goal post. Anderson appearing again in midfield. Back inside to Reddy. Manages to get a pass away. Anderson. Paponis. Rogers. Perhaps a minute to go. 35 points to 3, New South Wales. There's Les Boyd's shoe lying, so it's gone a bit further now. It's gone over the dead ball line, thrown away by Scott. Anderson lobs a long pass. This will be a try if he catches it. Eadie after number 2, and it's the 6th. Perilously close. Close again, doing some fine work in defence for the Queensland team. Number 3. Another scrum win to Queensland. And there it is, the hooter in the background. The kids come swarming onto the field to greet their heroes, a sight that I hate to see, but there it is. We can't apparently do much about it on some grounds, but New South Wales have run out winners by 35 points to 3. They've scored 7 tries and Cronin has kicked 7 goals. The scorers have been Graham Eadie, Steve Rogers, Tom Rodonicus, Ray Price 2, Rod Reddy 1, George Paponis tries. Mick Cronin has kicked 7 goals from
9 attempts.
9 attempts, another remarkable tally from this very talented New South Wales and Australian player. My director having a laugh at my expense in the background there, but there you go. So that's 35 points to 3. The only try, it must be said, scored by the Queensland team was not as a result of Queensland constructive play. It was a grand tackle by Meninga which knocked Rogers over and put him out of the play. The ball was knocked down and Meninga was able to pick it up and sprint over. So I dare say we can say that Queensland didn't manage to score a try out of any constructive ability. That's the story. We'll have a man of the match. Are we coming back in just a moment's time? And we are. I am instructed, and I always do what I'm told. So back in just a moment to give you our man of the match and talk about next week's telecast. Easy one because there are a number of players around about the same standard, but we finally went for Rocket Reddy. Consider Reddy scored a try and had a direct hand in 3 other tries. So of the 7 tries scored, he was involved in 4 in a fairly major way. Reddy wins our man of the match award. He'll appear on Sports World next Sunday and receive his $400 and then be in line with all the rest for the magnificent Mazda RX-7 prize at the end of the year. Now then, the try that we judged to be the best try was the one scored by Tommy Rodonicus in the 25th minute of the first half, and the man we judged to be most responsible for that was Craig Young, who actually initiated the move, taking it up. As you'll recollect, there were 3 changes of direction. A try scored by Rodonicus under the post. Now, just in conclusion, the score again was 35 to 3 in the match we've telecast. Our next week's match is the match between Parramatta and Western Suburbs from Lidcombe Oval, and that shall be a very, very good and hard match. Traditionally, these teams always put on the fireworks. So then, this is Rex Mossop from Lang Park in Brisbane, passing you back to our studios in Epping and your respective studios around the 7 network.